A very warm good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Please want to announce that once the conferees begin to walk, process into the hall as a mark of honor, all of us are expected to be on our feet to usher them in. Thank you. Can we be on the feet to usher in the conferee? This is a procession of the conferees led by Engineer Dr. Victor Oyenuga, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. These are very distinguished engineers who have distinctively distinguished themselves in the practice of engineering. And today will be conferred with the highest honor of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and that is the fellowship of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Today, these distinguished engineers will be conferred with the highest honor of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and that is the fellowship of the great and honorable, the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Coming right behind the conferees, the members of the Board of Fellows of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. And coming behind the members of the Board of Fellows is the presidential procession. You can see the mace bearer, the presidential mace bearer, ushering in the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. the national anthem. While we are still standing, let's take the opening prayer, second stanza of our national anthem. Let's recite together as we say, O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true. Great lofty heights attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Amen. Please, can we take our seats? Welcome, Mr. President. Can we take our seats? Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Engineer Ben O.C. Oko, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Director of Programs for today's event. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, an umbrella organization for the engineering profession in Nigeria since its inception on 16 February 1958, has remained committed in promoting the advancement of engineering education, research, and practice in all its ramifications, and has also played a pivotal role in organizing quality programs aimed at developing the human capacity of its members, sensitization and enlightenment of the public, and provision of quality advice to policymakers and stakeholders alike. The fellowship dinner is a quarterly event of the Nigerian Society of Engineers to honor and specially recognize individuals who have distinctively distinguished themselves in their careers and in every sphere of human endeavor. Over the years, this society has also used the fellowship conferment dinner to x-ray issues of national importance, and seasoned professionals from different sectors of our economy have been invited as guest speakers. On behalf of the President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, our very distinguished Engineer Babagana Mohammed, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and the Chairman of the Board of Fellows of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Felix Atume, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, I warmly welcome you to the 15th Fellowship Conferment Lecture and Ceremony with the theme, Engineering Education and Training, the Imperative for a Triple Helix Approach. Seated in this beautiful hall are very distinguished engineers and individuals who have traveled from different parts of this country to be part of this epoch-making and historic event. And I also want to inform us that we have an army and company of engineers all over the world who have joined us online for this program. It's therefore my honor to respectfully acknowledge the presence of the following. Let me especially acknowledge the presence of our host, the President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, our very distinguished Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC. We prefer to call him President Babagana Mohammed, PBM. Also seated beside Mr. President is the Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, our very delectable engineer Aishatu Ali Umar, FNSC. Also on the same table, on the same presidential table, the chairman of the Board of Fellows of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Felix Atume, FNSC MNI. Please, can we put our hands together for him? Let me also especially acknowledge the presence of some members of the Executive Committee of the Nigerian Society of Engineers who are here present. Members of the Executive Committee of NACU are duly, respectfully, and honorably recognized. Also, let me acknowledge the presence of the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Dr. Alex Okopi Momo, FNSC. You're welcome, sir. Let me also, in a very special way, recognize the presence of the members, honorable members of the Board of Fellows of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. All the members of the Board of Fellows here present, you are duly and respectfully recognized. Just coming in, let me, in a very special way, welcome our guest lecturer for today's event, who has just joined us, a very distinguished engineer, Engineer Mansour Ahmed, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. You are welcome, sir. We have an army of fellows of the Nigerian Society of Engineers in this hall. All fellows in the house, you are duly and respectfully recognized. Also, let me recognize the presence of the Honorable Commissioner for Environment, Borno State, my very distinguished friend, Engineer Wanori, FNSC. You are welcome, sir. And also, I can see an army of chairmen of branches of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. All chairmen of branches here present, you are duly recognized, and all national chairmen of our divisions, you are recognized. Of course, we have our members in the house. All members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers in the house, we recognize your presence. And of course, our spouses in the house, you are recognized. And we cannot do the recognition without acknowledging the presence of the people in whose honor we have gathered here this evening. I'm talking about the conferees. Please, can all the conferees stand up? Let's put our hands together for them, please. Thank you very much. Gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols duly, respectfully, and honorably observed. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, he has a physical and moral precision of mind which has enabled him all through his varied career to rise far above the ordinary levels of his generation. He's a man of refreshing character, like most great leaders, and has served this great society with every sense of dignity and humility. His legacies of public service are simply unbeatable in every conceivable parameter. He is a 1981 graduate of the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. He rose through the ranks of Benue State Civil Service until he became the Director of Civil Engineering. He served as Director of Benue State Rural Development Agency, BEDA, before he was appointed the Honorable Commissioner for Works, Benue State, from 1997 to 1999, making him the youngest commissioner in the history of Benue State. He also served as the chairman of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Makode branch, executive secretary of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, registrar of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, and general secretary of the Federation of African Organization of Engineers. He's an alumnus of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, Kuru. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite the chairman of the board of fellows of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Felix Atume, FNSC, MNI, to present his welcome address. Please, can we put our hands together for Engineer Felix Atume?
Sometimes when these MCs talk about you, you will not know if they're talking about you. They always say good things about you. He did say that I lost the election twice to be. He did say that once. Good evening, distinguished engineers. We are in today again for a solemn occasion. The conferees are here today with their spouses. Some are watching us online. To them, it's the greatest day in their journey through the engineering profession. I commend their efforts to arrive at the highest level of professional recognition in Nigeria. Mr. President, we thank you very much for the opportunity to invite these great men and their spouses to today's occasion. We are faced with a new normal, that's the COVID-19 protocol. That has made it difficult for us initially to get everybody here physically. So some will be conferred today online, and some are here. For those of us here, we must obey the COVID-19 protocol. I begin by saying that we should turn to the person next to us and say good evening and welcome. Thank you very much. Mr. President, as is the normal, we're going to have a talk today by one of us, a distinguished engineer, Engineer Mansour Ahmed, former this, former DG, former that. If we talk about former, we will not end. He's going to talk to us today about engineering education, training, engineering education and training, the imperative of triple helix approach. He's a wonderful person. He's synonymous with engineering. He started as the DG of ICRC, the pioneer DG of ICRC, and I think today he's in a better position to discuss this topic. We have 57 distinguished engineers to be honored this evening, Mr. President. The process of becoming a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers is tedious. The board screens the document properly. What have you achieved in the engineering profession? How many people have you mentored? What are the ethical things you do to promote engineering? So today we have 57 distinguished engineers, Mr. President, to be conferred with the fellowship of Nigerian Society of Engineers. It is always our belief that they become your ambassadors. They become, anywhere they are, they shine the light for the engineering profession. They will be given the highest honor today. Some, as I said, are going to be online. You will humbly again confer fellowship on them. Mr. President, at this junction, I wish once again welcome everybody who has, in spite of the COVID-19, created time to be here with us this evening. I am sure you're going to have a wonderful evening, and I want to appeal finally that please, 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 let this occasion be a solemn occasion. Yesterday, we discovered that immediately people got conferred. Everywhere there were photographs, and the atmosphere was not very good again. On behalf of the board, I'm appealing that please, let's get this solemn occasion done, then we can have photographs outside. On this note, once again, I welcome all of you to this special occasion. And may I take the permission from the President to invite the guest speaker for this evening, Engineer Mansour Ahmed. But maybe the MC will invite him better. MC.
Thank you very much, the chairman of the board of fellows. Please, can we put our hands together for him? Let me, before we invite the guest lecturer, let me acknowledge the presence of the president of the Spouses Forum of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and wife of the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Ajia Aisha Omar Babagana. You are welcome, ma. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I just also been informed that the wife of the deputy president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers is also in the house, Ajia Wudir. Please, can we put our hands together for her? Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as technological revolution expands, as the world's population increases, and as environmental concerns mount, one profession that stands tall with answers to these increasing problems of the world is engineering. The place of any country in this technological age would be predicted on the role of engineers and engineering. This can only be achieved through sound engineering education and training. The 15th Fellowship Conferment Lecture discusses engineering education and training, the imperative for a triple helix approach. To take us through the meandering topographies of this theme is a 1972 graduate of Nottingham University, United Kingdom, with first-class honors in mechanical engineering. He also obtained a Master of Science degree in Industrial Engineering and Administration from Cranfield University, United Kingdom in 1975. It's not a coincidence that our lecturer yesterday also is a graduate of Cranfield University, United Kingdom. He also has a postgraduate certificate in investment appraisal and management of the Harvard Institute of International Development. He was the pioneer Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission of Nigeria, ICRC, until his retirement in 2012. He led the commission to win the African Investor PPP Champion of the Year 2010. He was also the Director General of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, where he led the conceptualization and development of the PPP policy framework for Nigeria. He had a successful career in the Nigerian National Petroleum Commission Corporation, NNPC, where he served in various capacities, including Managing Director and Chief Executive. In addition, he served at various times on many national committees, including the Nigerian Vision 2010 Committee, the Oil and Gas Subcommittee of the National Privatization Council, and the Committee on the Assessment and Monitoring of the Millennium Development Goals. He has written many articles, published and unpublished, on a whole wide range of issues, including economic reform, deregulation in the energy sector, corporate governance, and other development issues. He is the president of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria and Group Executive Director, Government and Strategic Relations, Dangote Group. He is a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and a fellow of the Academy of Engineering. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite our guest lecturer of the 15th Conferment Lecture, our very distinguished Engineer Mansour Ahmed, FNSC, FA Inch. Please, can we put our hands together for him?
The President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, members of council here present, distinguished fellows of the society, both old and new, distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I am indeed humbled by your invitation, Mr. President, to present a lecture on this very important occasion. And I would like to thank you and thank the council and the society for this honor. I was asked to present this lecture about 2 weeks ago or so. So let me start with a caveat. That is, this is not an academic presentation, but actually my own thoughts on the subject matter. First, obviously 2 weeks is not adequate to prepare a detailed academic presentation. Secondly, I was told that I would only speak for 15 minutes, and by the standards of academicians, an academic presentation should last about 3 hours or thereabouts. So obviously, this presentation has to be much, much shorter. I am not an academician. That is even a more important reason. Although I started somewhere in the university system in 1973, when I joined the Ahmadu Bello University as an assistant lecturer. It didn't last long because I found that the work academicians do was well beyond my ken. So I ran out. However, the purpose of this presentation is indeed just to deepen the conversation on the subject matter, which I believe is very important for our association and indeed for our nation, and to advocate for solutions of many of the problems that our profession faces today, and indeed our economy also faces. And perhaps more humbly, to share my own views and opinions on the subject matter. I believe that COVID-19, the pandemic, has helped to wake us up to the realities of our situation, the realities of our education system, and the realities of the skills of our engineers and other professional technologists and technicians, the realities of our industrial sector, and indeed the realities of our economy. Our engineering faculties can design and fabricate ventilators, as indeed happened a few months ago, but it stops there. It stops at the prototype. And therefore, the benefit of their capacity, ability, and their skills to design and fabricate ventilators probably stops at their end. It did not go beyond to serve society and to serve the economy. Our pharmaceutical companies could not meet more than a fraction of our urgent medical needs when we needed them most, I remember in March and April, as the president of the Nigerian Manufacturer Association, I was really humbled to find that, believe me, even the face masks, we were not producing enough at the time. Since then, a lot has happened. Nigerians are very entrepreneurial, and many have gone into face mask production and changed the situation. But in March and April, when we were looking for all the people who can produce face masks, we found that the maximum we could produce across the country was probably less than 500,000. And yet, under circumstances, we should be looking for millions and millions of face masks that should be produced. Most of our industries have their supply chains completely disrupted and were struggling, perhaps with the exception of one industry, the digital in ITC industry. And this is not surprising because this is an industry that developed under current circumstances that is driven usually by young professionals, very zealous and very daring. But the remaining industries were all struggling. So everyone was looking for some solutions, and we were looking everywhere, including outside the box. But this is good because now we all have our minds opened. But the truth is the problems of our engineering profession, the problems of our industries, and indeed the problems of our economy did not start with COVID. Even before, long before COVID, our profession and our industries and our economy have been seething with complaints, blames, counter blames. We had failing infrastructure everywhere. Buildings were collapsing like house of cards. The low quality of our manufactured products, and despite their high cost, was legend. Unemployed and often unemployable graduates, engineering graduates, were indeed running helter-skelter all over the place. Our dependence on imports has become legendary. Research outputs in our universities never went beyond the prototype as we saw. Government refusal to procure from domestic industries, domestic manufacturers, was well known. University faculties were not teaching what engineers need to know to help the existing industry. Industries were not helping the universities to build the right curricula and to teach the current knowledge that is needed by these industries. And the insufficient funding of our universities was indeed a very real constraint and challenge. Of course, there are many factors contributing to this unhappy situation. But one key factor has to do with the nature, there is a mistake here, with the nature of the value chain of our engineering education and skills development system. And that is the focus of my presentation. Let me try to capture what I believe is the current sort of value chain and network for our engineering education and skills. We seem to have two parallel networks, one on the right, one on the left. We have in each, or in one, we have academia, we have government, and we have the professional bodies, including the Nigerian Society of Engineers and others. And of course, each was trying its level best to do what it is supposed to do, rather unsuccessfully. On the other side, we had academia. We still have professional bodies and industry. Again, as you can see, we're trying to support each other, trying to deliver what we believe we should deliver, but not doing so successfully. And the link between the two parallel sides was very, very limited. There was no real effort for industry to support extensively the academia side and even the professional bodies. Professional bodies themselves were doing their level best to advocate for improved systems, improved policies, improved infrastructure, and so on. But of course, not very many, not very often were they being had. Government itself had too many things to fund and was not funding the universities sufficiently. So the system was more or less a cycle of inefficiencies and ineffectiveness. And I believe that is what has brought us to the point of our current environment, where we are producing, as I believe that Coren recently published, hundreds, I believe, of thousands of graduate engineers, with the majority of them finding no jobs, or at least no relevant jobs that they would want to do. With the universities struggling very hard to even understand what kind of curricula, what kind of knowledge they should give to graduates, to their students, so that when they go when they go out, they will be employable. And with industries looking everywhere to find engineers and technologists who can provide the services they require, but in most cases, they are having to retrain their own. I know many industries that took on graduates and gave them not less than 1 year full training, including some academic training, in order to bring them up to scratch. So clearly, that environment, that ecosystem for the production and supply of engineering personnel cannot be sufficient and cannot be effective, and it has not been. And that is why our industries remain fragile. When we have a crisis like COVID, we cannot cope. When we need to produce materials for which the raw materials are available in abundance in our country, we could not do so. I remember again in March and April, our pharmaceutical industry was really brought to its knees because the Indians and the Chinese decided to put a halt on the import, on the export of APIs. APIs are the basic materials that pharmaceutical companies need to produce the medicaments we need. So clearly, this cannot go on. That is why I suggest that we should look at a new environment, a new ecosystem, a new value chain arrangement that will enable us to work together to produce the kind of engineers and technologies that we require. I'm sorry the sketch is not very legible, but essentially in this, we have the government on the right, industry on the left, academia at the top. And in between, we have the professional bodies. The purpose of this is that we need professionals, the engineering profession, to be right in the middle, involved in every aspect of the process of creating engineers and supplying them to industry. So they are involved in policy. They are involved in developing the skill base for industry. They are involved in working with the universities to develop the curricula and the pedagogy that is absolutely essential for the right kind of engineer. This is very important now, perhaps more than ever, because the world, especially in terms of technology, is moving so fast that if you don't have a system that responds to change as quickly as possible, the chances are you will be lagging behind. And this system or this sketch is actually intended to ensure that the work of government is not done without reference to industry and without reference to academia and without reference to the professional community. Everybody needs to be involved at whatever level in order to ensure that when we develop policies, when government develops policies, they receive policy advice from academia, they receive policy advice from industry, they receive policy advice from the industries, and of course, from the professional groups, as you can see along that slide. And when universities define academic programs, they receive advice and input from the professional community, they receive advice and input from industry, and of course, they receive direction, they receive policy, they receive regulatory, they receive regulations from government. You know, this way, you cannot create regulations that will stunt industry. You cannot do regulations that will ensure that the academic community is not able to make its input. A typical example, one policy that has been enunciated recently, for instance, is the Executive Order 5 and the Executive Order 3. The intention of that executive order is to incentivize and motivate industry, the public sector agencies to ensure that when they procure goods and services, they must first of all look inwards to see if we can produce those goods and services internally. I believe that there are two advantages to this. The first is that, of course, it creates a stronger market for industries that are producing goods and services that are available. But also, it motivates new investment in areas that people can see opportunities of supplying to government. And the same thing, it also motivates engineers in the engineering community to now see opportunities either to go into industry or to go in or to invest themselves, or indeed to go back to the university and create products that will be required. This basic system, I believe, if it is accepted, and I believe we are beginning to talk about it now. I will mention a few things in this regard. But the proposed value chain approach is based on the concept of the triple helix. This is an approach in the development of research, development, and innovation that seeks to promote a more integrated interaction and interface between academia, the government, and industry, as well as the professional community, which is in the middle. The triple helix model of engagement was popularized, I believe, sometimes in the 1990s by the work of two engineers or academic engineers called Exrich and Lotif. They saw the triple helix approach to interfacing academia, government, and industry as a more intensive manner as a necessary ecosystem for enhancing knowledge-based socio-economic development. That's the whole idea is we are indeed in a knowledge-based era, and it's knowledge that drives development. It's knowledge that drives innovation. And so we need to ensure that at every level, we capture knowledge, we put knowledge in the center, whether it not just in the universities, but even within industry and within even government. The ecosystem gives the new intermediary, or give rise to new intermediary institutions, such as technology transfer offices, like NOTAP, such as science parks and business incubators, because bringing academia and industry together with government support easily facilitates the creation of such things like parks, science parks, like the offices of technology promotion and acquisition. And of course, it also helps to transfer industry challenges into R&D activities. Because if you're operating industry, you are constantly meeting challenges sometimes the solution to those challenges is best found by going back to basic and looking at it from an NRD perspective. It also ensures that ideas spawned in the universities can get to the market and to become products or services much more quickly. I believe that such environment is most conducive to rapid development of new knowledge and new skills. And we certainly need new knowledge and new skills in order to navigate the present environment for our people. Next, please. So it is my submission that the adoption of this model, the triple helix model, in education and training, as well as development of skills of our engineers, is most urgently needed, especially in our prevailing circumstance. It is very much in line with the recent current initiative of outcome-based education, because outcome-based education requires that you start from the outcome and work backwards to define the curricula and to define the process for providing that education that will give rise to the outcome. As I said, this is a very short lecture, and I want to thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
We can actually do better than that. Thank you very much, our guest lecturer, for that beautiful presentation. We finished yesterday before 7 o'clock, and I assure you that we are going to finish earlier than that today. Please, can we reduce the movement? Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, he is an accomplished engineer and has traversed the length and breadth of the engineering profession. I said yesterday, both vertically and horizontally, without any angular deflection. Those who are civil engineers will understand that it's only a theodolite that can do that, and that's why I call him a theodolite. No one can question his incomparable achievements. He is ready to provide exactly the right kind of leadership at exactly the moment when it is most desperately needed. His journey through the ranks of the Nigerian Society of Engineers began in the Victoria Island branch, where he served as General Secretary from 2007 to 2009, Vice Chairman 2009 to 2011, and Chairman 2011 to 2012. He also featured prominently at the national arena and served as Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers for the years 2014, 2015, and 2016, and Deputy President 2018 and 2019. On Saturday, the 11th day of January 2020, at the African Hall of the International Conference Center here in Abuja, he took the oath of office as the 32nd President of the Great and Honorable, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and pledged to uphold the dignity, integrity, and the ideals of the engineering practice and profession. He has brought quality, excellence, eloquence, and resourcefulness to the leadership of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. This is the moral fiber of the man who pilots the affairs of the great and honorable, the Nigerian Society of Engineers. We know his character, we also know his qualities. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite to the podium to present his address the President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, our very distinguished engineer, Babagana Mohammed. Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Please, can we put our hands together for him?
Thank you, Ben. Let me align myself with the well-established protocol because of time. But I appreciate and recognize the chairman of Board of Fellows, Engineer Felix Atume, FNSE MNI, and my wife, Aisha Babagana. I wholeheartedly welcome you all to this event, which is the 15th edition of the Fellowship Conferment, Lecture and Ceremony of our great society. I especially welcome and commend the engineers who are officially going to step into the fellowship cadre of the society this evening. You have definitely done well for yourself to have successfully passed the screening and assessment procedures of the Board of Fellows. Let me also formally welcome our spouses and friends who have traveled from different parts of the country for the purpose of celebrating with you. I'm not forgetting the other conferees that are joining us online via Zoom. I welcome you all. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to celebrate 57 engineers of distinction who will soon become fellows of the great and honorable Nigerian Society of Engineers. They are joining the league of allied professionals in delivering value services to the development of our beloved nation. The Board of Fellows has screened their documented records and submission and found them worthy in learning, character, and practice, and therefore fit to be recognized as fellows of the great and honorable Nigerian Society of Engineers. This day marks the commencement of a journey of responsibility for all the new fellows. It will now become your duty to fly the banner of our society higher wherever you go. We expect you to comfort yourselves always with the dignity that this fellowship bestows on you. You are duty bound to uphold and defend the standard and ethics of our society. Importantly also, it is your responsibility to be role models for younger engineers and those who need inspiration to join the engineering profession. I wish to inform you that today, this day, you have joined the College of Fellows, which is like a think tank of the society. The college holds regular interactive sessions and public symposia where topical subjects are brainstormed upon for the purpose of presenting creative solutions for promoting the engineering profession as well as growing the fortunes of our society. Fellows have consistently agreed with one voice on the need for speedy completion of our National Engineering Center. When you walk around, you see it. Next phase 2 complex. Even though the complex is close to completion, furnishing is a major facet outstanding in the project. The cost for furnishing is estimated at 50 million naira. I hereby urge you all to see this as a challenge by donating generously towards achieving this feat in order to create an enabling ambience at the NSC headquarters. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another opportunity for me to make public my unreserved accommodation to members of the NSC Board of Fellows, led by Engineer Felix Atume, FNSE MNI, who is the chairman. The Board of Fellows has again, as always, painstakingly gone through the diligent process of selecting the caliber of engineers who are seated here to be conferred tonight. I congratulate you all, as this is also an occasion to celebrate the success of your work. I thank you all for coming and wish you success in your endeavors. COVID-19 is real. Stay within the protocols. Thank you, and God bless you all.
I think Mr. President deserves a standing ovation. If you look at the screen, please, they should bring back the Zoom. If you look at the screen, you will see that we have many of our members who have joined us via Zoom. You can also go to the NSC website. You will see the link, www.nsc.org.ng. You can also check our Facebook page. Even while you are here, you can also watch or send the link to your friends at home so that they can join you in this beautiful celebration. Once again, let's appreciate Mr. President. Let me quickly welcome the Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Yakubu Ali Garuba, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. You're welcome, sir. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the high point of today's event, and that is the conferment of fellowship of the Nigerian Society of Engineers to some distinguished engineers who have distinctively distinguished themselves in the field of engineering practice. It's my pleasure to invite the chairman of the board of fellows of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Felix Atume, FNSC MNI, to coordinate the conferment of fellowship on these distinguished engineers. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Thank you, sir.
Mr. President, when you were commanding the board, I have two people that I will present to you to commend. One is Professor Sali. Where is Professor Sali? Professor Sali, please come up. Mr. President, in our board, Professor Sali is the engine of the board. His screens are marks, commas, and dots. So you have to commend him and not me. And next person is Engineer Dr. Oyenuga. He has been here for 10 years. He runs the program. So these are the people that the president are driving the board. And every other person. All right, let's start the business. As I said, it's a very solemn occasion. For those who are made fellows and are going to be conferred today, it's the greatest honor your society can give you. And it's all over the world. If you go to the American Society of Civil Engineers, Institution of Civil Engineers of London, fellowship is taken quite seriously all over the world. And I think you are quite on top of your profession. And President said it all, you are the role model. Wherever you find yourself, somebody can say, oh, that's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. You are representing us. And I'm sure you will certainly discharge this role model position very well. Thank you. Are you ready?
Yeah, we are ready, sir. We will do 5 on physical.
Okay, physical.
Yes.
And
then,
I lose my
Yes, can you give my voice? You know, you need this as a second eye.
See, we have the new normal. There are some people that are going to be conferred online. And some people are going to be conferred physically. So we try to sort out those who are going to get the conferment online and those who are going to be done here. So it's a new normal. We were not experiencing this before. We'll soon be up and doing. All right. Let me invite Engineer Adetunji Abiodun Adoroju. Is he here? Can you come up? Engineer Folabi. Is Engineer Folabi here? Engineer Folabi here? Follow Runsho Afolabi. Is he here? Okay, you're here. Come up. Engineer Adogarba Ahmed. Is Ahmed here? Please come up. Engineer Sunday Ajayi. Is Engineer Sunday Ajayi here? Please come up. That's and for the first engineer Isaac Ajilo. Engineer Isaac Ajilo, is he here? Is Engineer Isaac Ajilo here? Ajilo is not here. Is he online? Ajilo. Not here. So don't call another person. Johnson. Johnson, not Awoyomi Ayinde. Okay. Okay. Engineer. Okay, Engineer Kolawole Ayinde, is he here? Is Ayinde here? Okay, please come up. Can you move like this, gentlemen? How are you? Good. Mr. President, I wish to humbly invite you to come up for the conferment. Okay. I think you'll be the last person there. Can I help you?
I didn't make it yesterday. He's here today.
Oh, is he here today?
He's here today.
Okay. Okay, the president, you can go ahead.
Engineer.
Engineer Abiodun Adetunji.
Thank you. Come forward.
Okay, you are the first.
Yes, sir. Come to my right. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian State Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Adetunji Abiodun Aderoju, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigerian State of Engineers. Congratulations. Wear your cap. Wear your cap. Where do you confer on you? I can wear your cap now.
Immediately they
The next one. Following show. Afolabi. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria State Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Folorunsho Afolabi, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria State Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Adogarba Ahmed, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations. Go and keep all of them with their distance. You can do that.
Next is Olukanga.
Thank you. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria State Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Sunday Olubenga Ajayi, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations. Yes, sir. This is my boss. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria State Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Kolawale Lukman Ainde, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations.
Right, Mr. President. Okay. Okay. Is Ademolu Ezra Olusoji? Is he online?
So these are the online, so you can read
Yeah,
them.
I'll read
once
them.
and for all.
Olusoju, is he online?
IT, we are not going online.
We're going online now. Olusoji,
Okay.
that's Olusoji.
Ademolu.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. President.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Israel Olusoji Ademolu, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations.
Next is
Ontario.
Engineer Musarat Adeyoye. Musarat Adeyoye.
She's online. I saw her. She's online. Aramide.
Aramide. Engineer Aramide.
Honorable Commissioner Infrastructures, Lagos State.
All right. Okay, Mr. President, go ahead.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria State Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Mrs. Aramide Monsurat Adeoyoye, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Next
Thank
is
you.
Engineer
Thank you.
Raphael
No, her husband is online.
Afonja.
Her husband is online.
Huh?
Johnson Adeboyega Adeoye is her husband.
Oh, it's online. Okay, yeah, sorry. Johnson, yeah, Adeyoye online.
Adeoye.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the husband. Yes, correct. They're Lagos. They are my Lagos people.
Okay, go ahead.
I know my people. Yes. He's now commissioner.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, President of Nigeria Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Johnson Adeboyega Adeoye, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations.
Mr. President. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Next is Engineer
Raphael.
Raphael Ade Afonja. Yes, Afonja.
Afonja.
Raphael. Is he online? Okay. President can go ahead. Afonja is there.
Okay. Online. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, President of Nigeria Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Raphael Ade Afonja, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations.
Usman Abdullahi Ahmed. Usman
Abdullahi Ahmed.
Abdullahi Ahmed. Is he online? I think I'm loud enough.
Yeah.
Usman Abdullahi Ahmed. Okay, maybe there's one. Go ahead.
Okay. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Usman Abdullahi Ahmed, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations. Abimbola.
Next is Engineer Abimbola
Sekinat.
Akinajo. You online?
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, President of Nigeria State Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Mrs. Abimbola Sekinat Akinajo, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian State of Engineers. Congratulations.
Next is Johnson Awoyomi. Johnson Awoyomi.
It's online.
Johnson.
It's online.
Go ahead, Mr. President.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, President of Nigerian State Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Johnson Awoyomi, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian State of Engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir.
Sit.
Thank you, sir.
Sit down. Okay. We are through with online now, so go on. The mic to me. Thank you so much. You do. Very different, and they give you throughout the night. And that's what I bought into that you can get the my trading in their own credit. Yeah, yeah. Let me invite Engineer Ferdinand Berway. Is he here? We're coming physical now. Engineer Coons Bob Manuel. Is he here? Engineer Coons Bob Manuel. Right, come up. Engineer Luis Bugu. Is Bugu here? Right. Engineer Lloyd Duru.
Please, can you come in through here?
Is Duru here? Okay, Engineer Duru. Engineer Chukudi Ezugu. Is Ezugu here? Okay, please come up. This is 5 now. Have I made 5? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ezugu, is he here? Okay, fine. All right. Good evening. How are you? You can shift a bit. The first question. Okay, so Ezugu, you are the other end. Yes. So first is Ferdinand Berway. Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
Bob Marley.
Thank you.
Bob Marley.
Yes.
Ferdinand. Correct. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, President of Nigeria State Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Ferdinand Ayebateke Bariwe, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria State Engineers. Congratulations. You have to shake my hand. Thank you, sir. Bob Manuel. Thank you. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Cons Hutchison Bob Manuel, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations. Luis Bugu. My boss again. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria State Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Luis Tize Bugu, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations. It's my God. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Aloy Anyechea Duru, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria Engineers. Congratulations. Yes, it's okay. Correct. Correct. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, President of Nigeria Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Vigilus Chukudi Ezugu, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria Engineers. Congratulations. Now I can shake Ezugu.
Go online now.
Okay, sir.
We're going online again. Engineer Aluya David Ichie. David Ichie.
It's in America.
David.
Online.
Yeah, online. Okay.
Yes. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Aluya David Eche, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria Engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Next. Next is Augustus Abiodun Famoshe. Abiodun Famoshe.
Online.
I'm here.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. President.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Augustus Abiodun Famoshe, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria Engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next is Jim
George.
George, Engineer Jim George.
It's online.
Engineer Jim George.
It's online.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Thank you
Good
very much.
evening and congratulations to everybody. That's my
Thank you very
boss.
much. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Meba Jim George, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigeria Engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Engineer Yetunde Adebola. Engineer Yetunde Adebola.
That is my chairman, Lagos branch. Past chairman, NSC Lagos branch.
Go ahead.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the President of Nigeria Engineers and Chairman in by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Yetunde Adebola Holloway, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigeria Engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We are going physical again. Engineer Mohammed Mate Gambomi.
Please come in through here. When you are called, please come in through here.
Engineer Tijani Akali Goni. Engineer Goni.
Come in through here.
Engineer Mustafa Gubio. Engineer Baba Bukar. Engineer Baba Bukar. Is he here? All right. Engineer Frank Ibi. Is Frank Ibi here? Is Engineer Frank Ibi here? Engineer Frank Ibi, is he here? Can you move, slightly move? Frank Ibi is not here. Frank Ibi.
So the 4 people can go ahead.
Okay.
Yes. So can we have the first one is
It's my former chairman, Meduguri branch, I remember.
okay. Engineer Gamboni Martin.
Boy Martin.
Yeah.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President and Chairman in Council of Nigerian Engineers, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Mohammed Marte Gambomi, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Engineers. Congratulations.
Engineer Tijani Akari.
My Honorable Commissioner, I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Tijani Alkali Goni, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Engineers. Congratulations.
Mustafa Kubir. Akali. Mustafa Alhali.
Under Commissioner, Borno State. All of them are Commissioners Borno State. All of them. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Mustafa Alhaji Gubio, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Engineers. Congratulations. Permanent Secretary. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Bababukar Gujbau, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Engineers. Congratulations.
Take a rest.
Thank you, sir.
Next is Engineer Sarafa Ibrahim. Is Sarafa Ibrahim here? Engineer Ngoji Isokariari. Is he here? Engineer Salihu Jamari. Is he here? Is Jamari here? Engineer Baba Mustafa Kali. Is Kali here? All right, come up. Engineer Sini John Kwahe. Sini John Kwahe.
Sini John Kwahe.
Engineer Abolade Rasaki Lawa. Is Lawa here? All right. Mr. President, you are starting with Engineer Sarafa Ibrahim. We are starting with Sarafa Ibrahim.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Sarafa Ibrahim.
Today you are parading my bosses here today. All the people here are my bosses. From Saliu Jumare to all of them are my bosses here.
We'll give this special recognition.
Yes, sir. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of the Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Sarafa Abayomi Ibrahim, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Engineers. Ayobami Ibrahim, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you, President.
Black and Ayobami, correct.
Next is Engineer Uji Sukari.
Thank you, sir.
My boss is my boss. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Soy Biton, Ngoji Isokariari, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Engineers. Congratulations. Sir, you need to hold his legs. He's the MD of NNPC. I'll hold it. I'll hold it down. You have known them today. You have known them today, sir. He's my MD. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, I hereby confer on you, Engineer Salihu Jamari, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Engineers. Congratulations, sir.
Yes.
I will send it to you. Please don't disturb me too much. This is my mate, so. Say the other. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Baba Mustafa Kalli, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nagato Engineers. Congratulations. John, move here. No, stand there. Don't come too close to me. I, Engineer. He's a village man from Yola. So, he's a village man from Yola. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Sini John Kwage, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Engineers. Congratulations. Abolodi Rasaki, that's my chairman. He's here. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Abolade Rasaki Lawal, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Engineers. Congratulations.
No, not yet. Mr. President, I'm going to call a special person. Very special to me, very special to the ESCO of NSC. Engineer Chinyere Nena Igwebe. Is she here? Wonderful lady that takes care of us in council. Very good. Engineer Obina Madumere. Is he here? Is Obina here? Right. Engineer Abdurrahman Mohammed. Abdurrahman Mohammed. Engineer Kachala Mohammed. Is Engineer Kachala here? Right. Engineer Abraham Rampo. Is Abraham Rampo here? Abraham Rampo, is he here? Engineer Askira Musa. Is Musa here? And Engineer Babagana Mustafa. Is Babagana Mustafa here? Babagana Mustafa, is he here? Is Babagana Mustafa here? All right, okay. Oh, yes. Then we can go online from here. Chinyere. Yeah, I think you move like this. You are the first person I've called. So. Yeah, you are the first person. The rest can. Yes. Can I invite Engineer Aisha Peno of the Nigerian Structural Engineers to be correct? Engineer Chinyere.
I think that's a very good one because it's my ESCO Nina is my ESCO, and I think Aisha will do a justice to this. Please decorate Nina for me. Decorate her and present her to me. Yes. You're happy? Good. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Chinyere Nnenna Igwegbe, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigerian State of Engineers. Congratulations. Yeah, well.
Yes.
Yeah, let me join this one. This is special to me.
Yes, she's my ESCO.
Yes, let me join this.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much. Obina is my colleague. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Obina Chidibere Madumeri, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian engineers. Congratulations, Obina. Correct? Thank you very much. The custodian. The custodian. Abdullah Mohammed, the custodian. Everybody's waiting for you. The custodian. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President, Nigerian engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Abdurrahman Mohammed, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigerian State of Engineers. Congratulations. So where you come now? Is the custodian.
Conferment.
Yes, Abdullah is my guy. Thank you very much. This is my secretary. Move forward. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Dr. Kachalla Muhammad, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigerian State of Engineers. Congratulations. Abraham Mprako. Mprako. Mrakpo. Mrakpo. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nagasaki Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Dume Braye Abraham Brapo, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Congratulations. My Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Brosted House of Assembly. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Askira Abdullahi Musa, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Congratulations, my Speaker.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
This man is my classmate, Engineer Dr. Babagana Mustafa. When we are in part 1, we won mobile base prize. I won in mechanical, he won in electrical. He's my mate. And today, he's the Honorable Commissioner for Higher Education in Borno State. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Malembe Babagana Mustafa, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Society of Engineers. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, we're going online. We are hooking online now. Why is Engineer B? Is he here? Excuse me, Yenuga. EB is he here?
You know what I'm saying, that the president is just take a break. Let's sort out all the online.
Okay, so I should sit down too.
You did it. Yes.
You are a brilliant student. Thank you very much. Just 6 This man. Good evening. I think one minute. Many years, that's why. But Allah is online. No, it's here. Okay, it's here. I will come for it. Since they are here. You see, nobody use the money. Nobody say they use the money for this. Anyway, I'm not sure. Thank you. When I yeah. Oh, so much. We are looking at what yeah. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. No, that is a procurement process. It's procurement. No, don't do like that. Don't do like that. No, don't do like that. You know, are you lost? You can do 100% payment. The bank advance guarantee. If there's a bank guarantee. Okay, it shouldn't even be that. It's wrong. Yeah, anybody that is going to get your money, that's it. Are you saying? Yes. Online. Wonderful. Okay, so let's just one. Okay, the picture there. You will give us like 10 of them. EB. We enjoy it. EB. After EB. This one is from Mark. No, Mark on the right. Okay, all right. All right. Are the papers here? The papers are here. I take this one. Follow, following each other. Okay.
Online.
Yes.
Online.
Yeah,
Frank EB.
Distinguished fellows and members of the society, we are starting online again. That with Engineer Frank Ibi. Is Ibi online? Engineer Ibi, is he online? Engineer Ibi.
Frank Ibi.
It's not? All right. I don't know who is insisting that he must be conferred. Next is Engineer Joseph Eze. Is Joseph Eze online? Joseph Eze.
Yes, I'm present.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNFC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Joseph Eze Nwakwe, my chairman, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian State Engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Next,
is the president of SPE.
Engineer Ayodele Ogunshakin. Engineer Ayodele Ogunshakin.
Are you online? I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the president of Nigerian engineers and chairman in council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Ayodele Olushola Ogunshakin, the distinguished fellowship of Nigerian State of Engineers. Congratulations.
Next is Engineer Dauda
Okodwa.
Aluya Okodwa.
Okodwa.
Dauda Okodwa. Dauda Okodwa.
Dauda Okodwa. Dauda Okodwa. Are you online?
Yes, sir. My president, sir. I'm online.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the president of Nigerian engineers and chairman in council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Dauda Aluya Okodwa, the distinguished fellowship of Nigerian State of Engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Olani is here, it's physical.
Is he here?
Yes.
Olani is here?
Olani is here.
Oh, okay, fine. Then George Arinze Otto. George Arinze Otto.
George
Yes,
Arinze
I'm
Otto.
here. I'm here. I'm here.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the president of Nigerian engineers and chairman in council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer George Arinze Otto, the distinguished fellowship of Nigerian State of Engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir.
Next is Joshua.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Joshua Sanga Titus. Joshua Sanga Titus.
Joshua Sanga Titus. Are you online? Good. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the president of Nigerian engineers and chairman in council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Joshua Sanga Titus, the distinguished fellowship of Nigerian State of Engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you, my president.
Thank you, Titus.
President can take a rest.
Frank Ibi is not there.
No, he's not there.
And then Oladipo Olani is physical.
Right. We're now coming physical again. Engineer Joshua, Adeshola Joshua. Here. What's that? Frank Ibi.
President Frank Ibi has come online.
Frank Ibi, you are late.
No.
Okay. Frank Ibi. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the president of Nigerian engineers and chairman in council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Eserogene Frank Ibi, the distinguished fellowship of Nigerian engineers. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
I thought they would see by the
Thank you. Thank you.
I've been directed to call Engineer Adeshola Joshua Obia Lorunkosi. You see, I was saying that I will not be able to call it, you know. Right. Engineer Modinat Odiola, is she here? Is he here? Yes or no? Engineer Modu Innocent Oguche. Engineer Innocent Oguche. Is Oguche here? Engineer Victor Olushina. Victor Olushina Ogunrati. Is Ogunrati here? Right. Engineer Engineer Ayodele Olani Oladipo. Is he here? Right. Engineer Sunday Ayokomi Oyejide. Is Oyejide here? Oyejide here? All right. Engineer Olelokon Nuruddin Shodinde. Is Shodinde here? Is Shodinde here? Nuruddin, is he online or absent? Right, so he's absent. Engineer Bukar Talba. Is Bukar here? How many? Okay, how many now? 4. Engineer Babagana Taylor. Babagana Taylor, is he here? No, they're not yet. Engineer Joshua Sang, well, no. Babagana Modu Taylor. Engineer Babagana Osman. Is Babagana Osman here? All right. Engineer Christopher Inua Wakawa. Is Wakawa here? Wakawa, is he online or is he here? Absent, he's not online. Engineer Umar Wakili. Wakili, is he here? Is he online? Well, he's not indicated here. Okay, we will check if he's online. All right. So, how many now? Oh, sorry, there are many. Some are even at the back here. That's right.
Yeah, this is the first 5.
Okay, first 5. Obabi is here. Correct. I, Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the president of Nigerian engineers and chairman in council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Adesola Joshua Obabi Olorunkoshi, the distinguished fellowship of Nigerian engineers. Congratulations. Modinat Aderonke Oduola. Thank you, Oduola. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the president of Nigerian engineers and chairman in council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Modinat Aderonke Oduola, the distinguished fellowship of Nigerian engineers. Congratulations. Innocent. Correct. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Amodu Innocent Oguche, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Structural Engineers. Congratulations. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Victor Olushina Ogoranti, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Structural Engineers. Congratulations. This is my colleague. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Ayodele Olaniyi Oladipo, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Society of Engineers. Congratulations. Thank you. Malam Bani Abunno. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you. There's a mix-up. Where is the paper? Okay. The name is Sunday Ojide. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Sunday Ayoka Mi Oyejide, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Society of Engineers. Congratulations. Bugar Talba. Agriculture. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Bukar Talba, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Congratulations. This is my chairman, Babagana Murutela. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the president of Nigeria engineers and chairman in council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Babagana Murutela, the distinguished fellowship of Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations. Why now, Usman? I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigeria engineers, the president of Nigeria engineers and chairman in council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Babagana Usman, the distinguished fellowship of the Nigeria State of Engineers. Congratulations. Why the flag? I look at flag.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Are we finished?
No, no. I'd like to call on Engineer Michael Arimawa.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the president of Nigerian engineers and chairman in council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Michael Chidiberi Arimanwa, the distinguished fellowship of Nigerian State of Engineers. Congratulations.
No, two more people. We are calling on Engineer Christopher Inua Wakawa. It's online. Is he? Christopher Inua. Is he online? Showed in there. Not online, it's not here. You cannot do that. I called it, it was not. It's absent. Mark absent, please.
Christopher Wakawa is there.
Okay, go ahead.
I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the president of Nigerian engineers and chairman in council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Christopher Inua Wakawa, the distinguished fellowship of Nigerian engineers. Congratulations.
Next is Engineer Umar
Wakili.
Wakili. Is Wakili online?
The Honorable Commissioner works Yobe State. Is online? Good.
See?
The Honorable Commissioner works Yobe State. Network. See him here. Moro Wakili. Yes. Network, Abi. Let's see him online. See. Engineer Umar Wakili. Okay.
Everybody will know that.
Yeah. We need to see him.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, by the grace of God and the common will of Nigerian engineers, the President of Nigerian Engineers and Chairman in Council, by the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Umar Wakili, the Distinguished Fellowship of Nigerian Engineers. Congratulations. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We're going to call the highest common opinion again. Okay?
Okay. No, we have MD place. Jumare, Salihu Jumare. Salihu Jumare. Yeah.
That's the one that gives both of them.
Please, can we appreciate Mr. President and the chairman of the Board of Fellows? Please, can we settle down? Let's settle down. We are going to be rounding off the program in a very short time. Let me quickly invite Engineer Salihi Jamali, FNSC, to respond on behalf of the new fellows.
Sir, Yaga.
I'm coming. He's changing it. He has won a new one. President. No, see him, he has won a. Yeah. All right, please, can we put our hands together for him as he walks to the podium? I think this belongs.
Respond on behalf of okay, on behalf of the conferees. Okay. The President, sir, members of the board, my colleague conferees, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm humble and honored to be invited to speak on behalf of the conferees. I would like to appreciate the recognition given to us by this society. I believe all of us were doing our job, putting our best, making sure that we make a lot of difference in our place of works, in our society and community. And we are really encouraged by this ultimate recognition by the association, by the society. I'd like to convey our appreciation and also say that this conferment will only encourage us to do more to the society, to do more to the community, and we will never let this society down. Thank you very much on behalf of the conferees.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, can we put our hands together for him? Let me invite Mr. President for presentation of plaque of appreciation to our guest lecturer. Please, can we put our hands together for Mr. Let's appreciate Mr. President, please. And our guest lecturer. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this program. But before we do that, let me announce that immediately after the vote of thanks, we'll be taking group photographs. The new fellows with Mr. President and members of the board of fellows, we take a photograph. Then after that, we take our closing prayer and a national anthem, and we take the recession. So take note of that. On that note, it's my pleasure to invite the chairman of the planning committee of this great event, Engineer Dr. Victor Oyenuga, FNSC, for the vote of thanks. Let's put our hands together for him, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. MC, FNSC. I think I forgot to thank our erudite scholar of yesterday. You know, it was later in the night I started. So please, my appreciation goes to him. It's not in fact, when I remember in the night, I said, if I have his number, I'll just call. But let me make it public now that I'm sorry for that omission. And in order not to repeat the same thing again, I will start from the lecturer of today. Thank you very much for the wonderful thing. I think, you know, we will be able to look into that and see, even at the board, how, you know, those things can actually be actuated to benefit both the industry, the society, and the professional bodies. Thank you very much, sir. We are indeed grateful. Again, I always say, you are a vice chancellor of a university because there's one student in that university. If there is no student in that university, you can never be a vice chancellor. So if our conferees are not here, if none of them applied, we won't have this wonderful outing that we are having today. So our first thank goes to the Almighty God, and then to them for having distinguished themselves to be worthy to be given that honor of fellows of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Our president has started a new normal. Because somebody said that what we had today and yesterday and today can happen, especially in this hall. So I was talking to him yesterday. I said we have just started a new normal. So we'll see how it goes. So we want to thank you, sir. And then thank our madam for your active support. And then the members of ESCO, our past president, I'm not too sure any of them is here today. Other distinguished guests. Then to our indefatigable chairman, we want to thank you, sir, for your leadership. We always enjoy the way, the maturity, and the way you handle things. Okay. My big brother, he always called me Egbon. We've known each other as far back as 1987. We were co-lecturers in the polytechnics. You are welcome, my dear engineer Olorunfemi, my past president, NSC. So to the members of the board, especially my planning committee members, for all your efforts, we want to thank you very much. To all of our supporters and to our honorable MC, who is now FNSC. So when now you call him, you now put FNSC. We are grateful. We are always happy that you are around and that you have always been doing justice and make us proud all the time. We pray that as most of us will go back to our various homes tomorrow, that the Almighty God that brought us here will lead us safely back home. And none of us, by His grace, will be partakers of this COVID-19 epidemics. Thank you very much, and thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, the chairman of the planning committee of this event, Engineer Dr. Victor Oyenuga, for that beautiful vote of thanks. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with that vote of thanks, we have come to the end of this program. I announce that immediately after this, the national anthem and the closing prayer, we are going to take the group photograph, then we have our recession. May we all be on our feet for the closing prayer. Second stanza of our national anthem. Let's recite together as we say, O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true. Great lofty heights attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Amen. The national anthem. Thank you very much. We promise you that we are going to be ending this program far before 7 o'clock, and we met the time. We are going to be taking group photograph now. All the new fellows with Mr. President and members of the Board of Fellows, our special guests, our guest lecturer. Thank you very much. I remain yours sincerely, Engineer Ben O.C. Oko, FNSC, signing out.
So,